All right, ladies and gentlemen, a quick little one-page lesson on the piano keyboard. Now, as I've said before in this unit, a lot of this stuff I'm sure you already know for most of you, but if you're not familiar with the piano keyboard, that's why we're doing this, okay? The piano keyboard, if you ever sit down at a keyboard or a piano of any kind, you'll see that we have black keys and white keys. The black keys are always in groups of 2s and 3s. Okay, you'll have a group of 3 here, a group of 2, group of 3, group of 2, etc., all the way up and down the keyboard, left and right. Okay, in terms of labeling the keys, the first note you should always look for as sort of a guidepost is the note C. Okay, now if you're not familiar with this, you might think, why don't we look for A? A is the beginning of the alphabet. The note C sort of has a special significance in that there's something called a middle C. When you sit down at a piano, virtually the exact middle of the keyboard is the note C, and it's this note right here. Okay, we call that middle C. It's the middle of the keyboard, okay? From there, we can label the rest of the white keys. So when we are going up to the next note, we call it D. Here's C again, and here's D. Going on to E. Okay, we're now here, going on to F, and G, etc., to the next C. Okay, so when we go to the right on the keyboard, we start going forward through the alphabet. That's just like going up in the staff. When we go left on the keyboard, that's like going down in the staff, or backwards through the alphabet. And an important thing to remember as you go through labeling these notes on the keyboard is to look for the patterns, okay? First of all, I'm sure you see that we go from C to D to E, we go forward through the alphabet, okay? And as we continue going up, we continue going forward. As we go down on the keyboard to the lower notes, we count backwards through the alphabet. Notice that the middle C is directly to the left of 2 black keys. Notice that it happens again. And assuming you label your piano keyboard properly, you will find that this note is also a C. And as you go over here, 2 more black keys, the note immediately to the left is also a C. So watch out and make sure you hit those C's on the right notes, on the right spots, because as you label these notes backwards, you see there's a C, the next one will be B, A, G, etc. Okay, so you should be able to label those next 2 notes, those next 2 answers, answer those next 2 questions. If I could speak properly, that'd help. And then finally, match up these notes on the grand staff to the keyboard below. You have a big keyboard right here, okay, all the way across. Middle C is right here, physically in the middle of the keyboard that they give you, okay? You know also that middle C is the first ledger line above the treble clef, and it's also the first ledger line below the bass clef. This note right here is also a middle C. So I can even start you off by doing one of these. Okay, that note is a middle C. From there, you have to know which notes are where. So, for example, anything in the treble clef, up here, all these notes that are higher than middle C are going to be on this part of the keyboard. All these notes in the bass clef, which are below middle C, are going to be somewhere on this side of the keyboard because they're in the bass clef, the left hand. All right, so take a moment and try putting a line from the note itself to the proper white key on the keyboard. You're matching up your thought process between the staff, the grand staff, and the keyboard, okay? Finally, color the following keys on the piano keyboard. They're giving you a middle C on each of these examples. Mark clearly, where do I find this G on this keyboard? Where do I find that B in the bass clef? Where do I find that B note on this keyboard? Where do I find this low F on the keyboard? Okay, easy, quickly take care of that, and we'll take it up in class. All right, have fun. We'll see you in the next lesson.